Hey everyone, it's Jaclyn, and today I thought I would film a video about eating vegan or eating plant-based. I guess the two words are kind of interchangeable. But I do get asked a lot of different questions about why I eat the way that I do and things like that. So I thought I would film a video kind of answering some of those questions and giving you some insight to why I eat the way that I do. So I've been eating vegan for over a year now, and I actually was vegetarian before I went vegan. I was vegetarian for I think around 6 months before I officially went vegan. So what eating vegan means for me is that I eat no animals and no animal byproducts. So that means like no chicken, no beef, no seafood, nothing like that, and then no animal byproducts, which includes like dairy, so no milks, no cheese, no butter, nothing like that, and then no eggs and no honey and basically anything that comes from an animal. I know when I initially heard about veganism, I was like, oh my gosh, like what do they eat? And it just seems like such like a restrictive way to live, and I totally understand that because I thought that before I educated myself about this. But now that I'm vegan, I feel like I eat more abundantly than I ever have like in my entire life. The reason I went vegan was purely for health reasons. I basically didn't feel good eating milk products or dairy products, and I didn't feel good eating eggs. The reason I originally went vegetarian was just because it really resonated with me. I can remember being in like the 3rd grade and I just didn't feel comfortable eating meat, and I just never wanted to as a child. And like my whole life I would be like, Mom, can I please go vegetarian? I just don't want to eat meat. And it was something that she wasn't really like familiar with, and she was concerned. Obviously, she's like, would you get enough protein not eating meat, things like that. And I can understand why she was kind of hesitant for me to go vegetarian, just because she really wasn't educated about vegetarianism. Is that even a word? I don't even know. But she really just wasn't educated about it, so she didn't want me to become like super unhealthy or something like that. So basically my entire life I've been eating very little meat just because I just didn't want to from a young age. And I would only really eat it when my mom like made me or told me that I had to eat it. So yeah, I've been eating very minimal meat basically like my entire life. So when I was 15, I like officially became vegetarian. I was like, Mom, you know what, I'm old enough to make my own choices. I've educated myself about this. I know how to eat a healthy vegetarian lifestyle, so that's what I'm going to do. And basically she was like, okay, I don't see why not, go for it. So my mom was always really good about making sure there was tons of vegetarian options when she made dinners and things like that, which was amazing because it's definitely a lot easier to go vegetarian or vegan when you have like support from your family. But at that time I was still eating tons of cheese, and well, not like tons of cheese, but I was still eating cheese, and occasionally I would have eggs and different animal byproducts like that. So when I originally went vegetarian, I really didn't even know what veganism was. I just kind of thought it was people who like ate like no food and had some really weird restrictive diet, and I just really didn't understand it at all. And then I really don't even know how I got into veganism. I think I stumbled upon some random videos on YouTube about veganism and health benefits to being vegan and things like that, and it really just made sense to me, and I was always really interested in those videos, and I just basically started watching way more documentaries, and I would read tons of stuff online, and I just was really interested in like the vegan lifestyle. And for me, it just kind of seemed like something that made sense. Always growing up, I knew if I ever ate cheeses or milk or anything like that, I would always kind of feel like not well after that. And same went with eggs. I remember like in the 4th grade discovering that I had like an egg, not like allergy, but I just reacted weird with eggs. I was at one of my friend's house and she made me like an egg salad sandwich. And right after I ate it, I felt like I was gonna puke. So I basically called my mom to pick me up, and I went home and like could not stop vomiting, which I know is a little TMI, but I always felt really sick after eating them. But it was weird with eggs. Sometimes they would not bother me at all, but sometimes they would make me feel incredibly ill. So I always kind of had like a weird allergy with the eggs, and I would always try to avoid them and just like not eat them if I was going out, just because I never would know how I would react to them. So basically the more I educated myself about veganism, the more it just kind of clicked and made sense to me, because I was basically thinking, if my body reacts so poorly to dairy and eggs, maybe it's trying to tell me something that it doesn't want that. So yeah, it just kind of made sense for me. And I'm not making this video trying to tell you to go vegan or that everyone in the world needs to go vegan, because I really do think it is a personal choice. And I definitely don't think I would be happy eating vegan if it wasn't something that I wanted to do and that I really connected with. So yeah, basically, just to summarize, I went vegan basically for health reasons. And the more that I started educating myself about veganism, the more I tried to make like a conscious choice to eat more vegan. And I started to notice that I felt so amazing. And it's not like I felt like awful every day before, but I just felt like I had so much energy that I could like run a marathon every day. And I feel like I gained so much mental clarity, and I just felt like I was a way happier and like more positive person that was always like ready to tackle the next adventure kind of thing. And I know that sounds kind of airy-fairy and kind of like, I don't know, cheesy, but I honestly did. And I didn't realize how bad I felt before until I started eating vegan. I hope that made sense. But yeah, honestly, it was just kind of like miraculous to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to eat this way forever because I want to feel this amazing forever. And then basically from that point on, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna eat vegan. And I didn't see eating vegan as like a loss of missing out on my favorite foods or being some super restrictive, crazy diet. Because once I started educating myself about it, I realized how many options I really did have eating vegan. And I did have a couple of people ask me how my parents reacted when I told them that I was eating vegan. And it sounds like it's like this big dramatic thing that I had to tell them. But it's really not anything different, and I didn't really see it as a big deal because it was not that I was eating this completely different way, it was just that I was choosing not to eat certain foods. So yeah, I hope that kind of makes sense. I feel like I was kind of all over the place with that story. And yeah, so basically my parents were really cool about it. They were really supportive. They really didn't make it a big deal, which was awesome because it wasn't really a big deal. And I don't think they necessarily 100% like agreed or understood why I was eating the way that I did, but they basically were like, if you feel good eating this way, then eat that way. And that's really how simple it is for me. I do get a ton of questions too asking if it's hard to be vegan, and I honestly think it's as hard as you make it. Eating out, it can be a little like, not frustrating at times, but like sometimes you just gotta eat a salad for dinner and you gotta be okay with that. Pack snacks, eat them on the way there kind of thing. But I mean, people are normally pretty accommodating about it. If you tell your waiter or waitress that you have like an egg allergy or a milk allergy or that you eat vegan, they normally can make accommodations for you. So as long as you like are open about telling your waitress or whatever, they normally make it work. Otherwise, just bring some snacks in your bag and eat them later. But honestly, it is as hard as you make it, and it's as difficult as you make it, if that makes any sense at all. I also get asked a ton if I ever miss any foods, like if I just want to wake up and eat a giant bowl of bacon, and I can honestly say no that I don't. I am so satisfied eating the way that I do. I don't have like cravings for a steak or something like that. But I mean, if it ever got to the point where I was like waking up with intense urges to eat something, I honestly don't think I would be restrictive in that sense and like tell myself that I couldn't eat it. And I honestly don't think I'll ever wake up and want to eat non-vegan, but I mean, who knows? I don't want to say never. But like I said, eating vegan for me is all about listening to my body and eating what feels right for me. So right now, eating vegan is what I feel is right for me. I also get asked a ton if my family eats vegan, and they definitely do not by any means. My mom does eat vegan like when she can, or if I'm just making a vegan meal, she definitely will. And my dad will too, depending on what it is. He still kind of gets freaked out by tofu and things like that. But like I said, eating vegan can be as complicated or as easy as you make it. Some days I just feel like eating a bowl of pasta or a big bowl of potatoes for dinner, and I'll just eat that. I'm not really the best cook. I like to think that I'm a really great cook and baker, but I'm really not. So I just keep things pretty simple just because I don't have the skill for it, and I'm kind of lazy about making food. I'll just throw together something super easy. I had a couple of people ask me what my staples are for food, and it's definitely bananas and dates. And for like dinners, maybe something like rice or potatoes. I do like a big salad for dinner sometimes as well. For breakfast, I normally have like a big smoothie or something like that, or like depending on the season, sometimes I'll have like a big watermelon for breakfast. Oh, I love watermelon so much, it's so good. I feel like too, ever since eating vegan, I like appreciate food so much more. I love going to farmers markets and I love grocery shopping. I think really when it comes down to it, I just love food and I love eating food. I also had a few people ask me if I had any tips for people trying to go vegan, and I think I touched on this a little bit before, but basically just make sure that it's something that you really want to do and that you are passionate about, I guess. And I also think it's really important to educate yourself. There are tons of amazing resources online that I really found helpful just to learn about veganism a bit more. But yeah, honestly, I think if it's something that you really want to do, you'll do it, and it's as simple as that. I'm also planning on doing a little video on some of my favorite recipes or some of my favorite meals to make, so definitely let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in below. So I feel like there's a million other things that I could talk about and that I didn't even dive into about eating vegan, but those are the main points that I really just wanted to touch on. I hope this video helped you understand maybe what veganism is, or at least understand why I eat the way that I do. If you have any other questions about the lifestyle that I have or the food that I eat, definitely leave me a comment down below and let me know. I will try to answer you back. So I hope this video wasn't too boring just listening to me talk about the different foods that I like to eat. But I know that when I was going vegan, I found it really helpful to watch different people's experiences and just learn about why other people went vegan. I know I really enjoyed watching those. So yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys soon.